Welcome back to Real Talk About Feminism podcast. This is episode 53.
It's a new month. We have a new batch of episodes for you guys that we're super excited to record and to share with you guys.
We have an announcement. We are quitting the podcast. April Fools! Just kidding. We're recording this on April Fools.
Yeah, at first I was like, girl.
You're like, excuse me?
I didn't get the memo.
You're like, I'm still going with or without you. Yeah, we're recording on April Fools, so just had to throw in a little
Hasn't really felt
joke.
like April Fools though.
Mm-mm.
I feel like it's just because this year is going by so fast.
I agree.
It's already April.
I agree. I know. I was working today and I was planning content for May. And I was like, May?
You're like, that is 3 months away.
Yeah, I'm
no.
like, oh, that's so far. No. Like,
it's
in my mind,
literally
it's
a month
November.
away. Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly.
We're still back in the holidays.
Yeah, honestly. We've never moved on.
Oh my gosh. Well, a huge thing that happened in pop culture world is the Will Smith slap.
The slap.
We haven't actually talked about it together.
Mm-mm.
We've kind of been waiting to hear each other's opinions. So why don't you go first? What do you think about this whole thing?
I think it's very dramatic. I love the Smith family.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I really do. And I am really excited for the Red Table Talk to drop.
We've been waiting.
Because when they get Will on the Red Table to talk about this incident, I know it's going to be crazy.
Do you think he's going to, though?
Yes. There's no way. He's been on the Red Table a lot recently.
I know. And how could they just pass over that?
Yeah, they're not going to. I know they're going to do something with Red Table Talk. But, okay, my actual opinions on it, I don't think it was okay. I mean, Chris Rock could have charged him.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it was okay. Like, no matter how much I love someone as an actor, I think they do a lot of good in the world, but it's not okay. Like,
I agree with you. A lot of people are saying, like, this was a PR stunt, which, I mean, I could see.
It kind of looked like that at first.
It kind of
unbelievable.
Did. But also, it's like too, I don't know the words I'm looking to find.
It's like
but like
aggressive and real.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
Why would he do that to tarnish his reputation? Because like now that's all anybody's ever gonna think about or remember him for.
Well, and before we started recording, he got like kicked off of
it said he resigned. He resigned from the academy.
Yeah.
I don't really know too much of the lingo,
I
but
don't either.
Yeah, so like definitely things are moving, and like I saw something that said like he was going to be charged and like all this back and forth stuff. So it's just crazy, but yeah, I agree. I don't think it was okay.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think. If you're not tired of talking about it, because that's literally all that's
everything. Like there's like trending sounds on TikTok with his voice, what he said already. Like there's so many memes.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
A remix. I'm not on TikTok, so like I don't see that. That was so pick me. I'm not on TikTok.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. But like I don't see all that, but I saw on Instagram all of the memes of him like slapping him.
Yes, they're so funny.
That was really funny. But
yeah, people are so quick. Like anything happens and people are already creating memes.
They just hop on. So.
Yeah. Well, another thing we want to address before we get into this episode is that April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which obviously is a very big deal to us. So we just wanted to put that out there to, I guess, think about it more and think about how you can help. And
we've done a few episodes on this topic, so go back if you want to educate yourself. A lot of these recognition months, sometimes you're like, oh well, I don't know what to do. Like this isn't something you like celebrate,
right?
But I think it's just important to educate yourself on whatever the topic is. So go back and listen to our episodes. We have some resources on Instagram. Just try and educate yourself.
Yeah.
We're both take a big inhale. For the suspense, you guys, it's a lifestyle episode. First of the month. It's actually the first of the month when we're recording.
Yeah.
But it's the first weekend of the month, which means it's a lifestyle episode. And if you're new here, we have had a lot of new listeners, actually. And so if you are new here, we do the first week of the month is a lifestyle episode. We talk about travel.
Yeah, it was recently that we were like, how did we even coin that term? Because
Yeah.
it's kind of just like what we want to talk about, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's
Like,
like a
not
fun episode.
necessarily relating to feminism,
Mm-mm.
but yeah, just kind of like a fun episode, I guess. I
Yeah.
mean, I think most of our episodes are fun, but
Yeah.
yeah, so just something different.
Yeah, something different, something that doesn't necessarily relate back to feminism. So this month, our lifestyle episode is my dating drama and then some date ideas from Ken's.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we did episode 11, was it? Was
10 or 11, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was worst first dates. If you want to go back and listen to that, don't judge the quality. But if you want to go back and listen to that, that was a really good episode, and it was at the beginning of our podcast journey.
Mm-hmm.
And so we wanted to do another episode because that was a year ago, and I've been on a lot of dates and a lot of crazy stuff has happened. So we want to do an update.
Yeah, you have some really great updates for us.
I'm so scared.
Why don't
Like,
you just start? Like, let's get into it.
okay, I'm really scared. Like, if anyone's out here listening and you're one of these people, please do not come for me.
Don't take it personal. We're gonna change all the names. Okay, these are
Hmm.
not their real names,
Yeah,
and it's just funny. Like some of these, you're like, did that actually happen?
but it did. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we're gonna start off with a recent one. So like I said, the past year of my life has been a whirlwind for dating. I've been single the whole time, and there's just been a lot that's happened. Like dating, if you guys are dating right now, you know that it's really tough. Especially like because I am working from home, I'm doing online school right now, and it's just like really hard. So I go on dates from dating apps. And so it's just been a whole whirlwind. It's just rough, but it honestly sucks. I'll just say that. But finally, after a year of going on these dating app dates, I met this really great guy. We'll call him, what should we call him?
Josh.
Okay, Josh. Um, okay, so I met this guy, Josh, on a dating app. He was out of the country at the time, and he was working out of the country. And he wasn't going to be back for another like 2.5 weeks or something like that. So we matched, and we started talking, and he actually slid into my Hinge in like the most creative way. I had a voice prompt, and he responded to my voice prompt with a voice message, and it was just really funny, and he had personality. And so I was like, oh, I love that. So fast forward, we FaceTimed a few times, we talked on the phone, whatever, while he was out of the country. And so fast forward, it was finally time for us to go on a date, and he got sick and had to cancel the first date last minute. And I was like, okay, that sucks because, as a girl, there's a lot that goes into preparing for a date. I started doing self tan 2 days before the date. Like, it was a lot. And actually, I was talking to dad after the date got canceled, and he was like, that sucks. Like, I'm really sorry. And he told me, he was like, as a guy, you don't really know all that goes into a girl preparing for a date.
Right.
And so he was like, for a guy, it's like, oh, sorry, I have to cancel, and it's not that big of a deal. But it sucked for me because I was like, oh, I'm so excited. But he was sick, whatever. So we finally rescheduled the date for a few days later, and it was one of the best dates I've been on. So great. Everything is going so well. We really open up to each other, and it's just so great. And at the end of the night, we kissed, and it was great. Whatever. I don't know if I should kiss and tell, but I guess whatever.
You did.
I
So
did. So, it was just really good, and I felt like I had a really good connection with him, and he said the same thing. So we had made plans. He was going to come down to a volleyball tournament that weekend because he really likes volleyball. And so he was going to come down to the tournament. And so we didn't see each other for 2 days. The day before I was supposed to see him, we were texting. He was telling me, like, oh, you look so beautiful. Because I sent him pictures from the Billie Eilish concert. And he was like, oh, you look so beautiful. And I was like, thank you. I'm so excited to see you tomorrow. Fast forward to the next morning, I wake up and I was so excited. And I texted him, I was like, are we still down for today? Like 30 minutes from now. Didn't hear from him. Called him, didn't hear from him. And then I texted him, didn't hear from him, and I was like, okay, we're leaving. Basically, he told me, he was like, I'm so sorry, like I slept in, whatever. And then we made plans again for that afternoon. I did not hear from him, and then he ghosted me. Literally ghosted me. And I was like, of course, after a whole freaking year of me like going on dates, not connecting with anyone, I finally connect with one person and then he ghosts me.
And you'd never been ghosted,
I've
right?
never been ghosted. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. Literally, like it was a hit to the pride because I've never been ghosted, and I did not know how that felt, especially because it was someone that I really liked. And I
Right,
was
that
like,
makes
that
it worse.
sucks. Like it was the worst.
Like, say anything.
Anything.
Don't
Literally.
just disappear.
And I knew the reason why he ghosted me. I knew. Because I was like, I've done this, you know, like I'm not dumb. So I knew the reason, and it was just bothering me because I was like, I have told you that communication is so important to me. Just freaking text me and say, hey, this isn't gonna work out. And I would be like, okay, fine, like nothing wrong with that. And he ended up texting me like a week later or something.
Came crawling back, just like we said.
Yeah, came crawling back. And he explained it, and I was like, yeah, I already knew that's what it was, but it did suck. I was like, I've never been ghosted. Oh my gosh. So that was like the first one. Not too crazy, but the first time I've ever been ghosted. And it hurt.
I bet.
Okay. This next story is a doozy.
Truly, truly a doozy. Like we spent like an hour, maybe like 30 minutes this past week reminiscing. Like I was reminiscing through pictures she took and telling me stories. It was so funny.
I'm really scared to tell this because I know that this person listens. And the thing is, we're really good friends now. Like, I honestly love him so much
He's
as a
not gonna
friend.
care.
I love him so much as a friend, so I'm just saying this right now. What should we call him? James.
James.
Yeah. Okay, James, I love you so much as a
Okay,
friend.
James.
Okay, James. TikTok. Yes, I love you so much as a friend. And, you know, no hard feelings, please. Okay? This is so funny.
Thank you for giving us content.
Yeah, this is great content. Okay. So basically, I met this person on a dating app, of course. All of these are from dating apps.
Mm-hmm.
So I will shorten this story because it could get really long. But basically, we matched, and I had my location set to Denver, but I was in Idaho, and he was in Denver area. So we matched, and I was not in Colorado, but we started talking. We texted for a while, and then we finally talked on the phone. And we like it was such a good connection right off the bat. We literally applied for the Amazing Race.
I wish we could share that video.
I wish that we could share it because our application video, like we had never met, so we didn't have any pictures or videos or anything together. And so I like photoshopped us together, and it was the funniest thing I've ever created. So we were just having a really good time long distance. It was fine. We weren't like dating, but
Yeah,
we were just talking.
talking.
And so then I moved back to Denver this summer, and I was like, we were talking, and he kept saying, you should come out and visit me. When are you going to come out and visit me? And I kept saying, like, oh, it's so expensive. I don't want to do it, blah, blah, blah. And I was really nervous to fly across the country to meet someone for the first time.
Right.
And I was staying at his house. And so I was like, I'm nervous.
Looking back, this sounds so dumb.
But I wasn't completely dumb. Like, I had him meet the family, whatever, over FaceTime. And the mom and dad loved him.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, so I fly out there, and in my mind, like we met on a dating app. We had been flirty. So in my mind, we were
semi together, like at least for the weekend or something.
Yeah, like my thing is
wanting
like,
to see where it goes.
Yes,
yeah.
Wanting to see where it goes. And my thing is like, I am totally fine with having like, this sounds really bad, but like a weekend boyfriend. Like, you know, do
Well, that's kind of why you went out there.
and that's what it was. Like, you know, go to the beach, like walk on the beach, hold hands, like, you know, have fun, just like be flirty, have fun. That's what it was. And apparently when I got out there, in his mind, it was just friends. And so I'm like, first off, I know it wasn't a situation where you saw me and then you were like, oh, I'm not attracted to her, because I looked really good. So
and you guys had seen each other too.
Yeah, and we had FaceTimed and stuff. So Um, anyways, so I don't know what the situation was, but somewhere along the lines there was a miscommunication. And let's just say this brought out my toxic side. And I fully admit that. But I
Oh
feel like
my
it brought out his
gosh.
toxic side too.
Yeah, you guys would be so toxic if you were in a
Yeah.
relationship.
So, but the thing is, we're both really great people. So, like, we just brought out the absolute worst in each other. So, basically, I get out there, and in my mind, I swear if he's listening, in my mind, I thought we were gonna, like, I was gonna get out of the airport, and we were gonna, like, run and have this, like, romantic kiss after months of talking, and it was not like that. So, immediately, he was just not being very flirty, and I was like, okay, maybe we have a different vibe going on. Very awkward for me. Long story short, found out that we would not work out as a couple for many different reasons. And then finally, at the end of the weekend, we had to get up so early to go to the airport. And so we were up so early. And this dude proceeds to blast music at the loudest level as we're driving. Like, it was like an hour to the airport, I think. Probably an hour, yeah. Maybe a little longer. So it's like 5 a.m. and he's blasting music where to the point where we couldn't talk to each other. Like, I couldn't hear him. He could not hear me because he was blasting music. And the song that he was blasting was the song that's like, miss her, kiss her, love her, that girl is poison. And literally he's like singing it at the top of his lungs, and
So passive aggressive.
so passive aggressive. I was like, so I'm poisonous? Like, is that what you're saying? But the thing is, I'm telling my side of the story, but there was things that he did that were toxic too. That including, so I don't want to look like the only bad one here, but it was just so funny. Like, we brought out our toxic sides, and that was the way to wrap it all up. Like, he was just like, that girl is poison. And then we ended up playing the game We're Not Really Strangers the night before. He had to drop me off, and we didn't write our final notes to each other, if you know what the game is. So he was like, I wrote like, I didn't write him a final note.
Bye.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not writing him one. And when we were driving there, we were almost to the airport, and he was like, I wrote your final note last night, and I'm gonna text it to you, like, you get in the airport, and because you're supposed to give it to each other after you leave. And so I was like, oh, okay, I'll text you yours too. But I had not did one. So I was like in the car real quick, like writing out a final note, and mine was just like, it was great seeing you, blah blah blah. And then he wrote out this like really heartfelt note, and he said like, even though we fought the whole time, like, things worked out, like, it was so fun. Whatever. That was just so toxic.
Literally, I wish like we could say all the details because like there's a lot of details that's like, oh my gosh, like you can get a clearer picture.
Yes.
But I mean, that's a pretty clear picture.
It's a pretty clear picture. Yeah, we were just fighting the whole time, and then like him blasting poison. That
really set you over the edge.
Yes.
But like you said, you guys are friends now. Like,
yeah,
you're really good friends.
Yeah, we're really good friends. So I have, I do love him as a friend. James, if you're out there listening, watch him text me after like listening or something.
He's like, can I get on in Jeremiah's side?
Yeah, he's like, we have like literally red table talk style. Like, you share your side. Okay, the next story, it is too long to share. So if you want the actual story, then DM me and I'll tell you, because it is actually
she'll send you a voice memo.
Yeah, but basically, I went on a few dates with this one guy. We'll call him
one guy.
One guy. So I went on a date with guy number one. I went on a few dates with him, and he got very attached very quickly, and then I was like, this is not for me. Broke it off with him, and he treated it like it was like a full-on breakup. And I was like, okay. So then that's guy number one. Then a few weeks later, I went on a date with guy number two, and basically somehow found out that guy number one and guy number two were both connected. And they ran in the same group. And they weren't necessarily friends, but they knew each other, and they hung out all the time because they hung out in the same group. Mm-hmm. And it was so weird. I ended up going on dates with guy number two. We went on like one date a week for like 2 months. Like, we went on a lot of dates.
You guys did, actually, looking back at it.
Yeah. And nothing wrong happened with that. We just fizzled out because it wasn't going anywhere after going on dates for so long, and
Mhm.
it wasn't going to go anywhere. So it was just crazy. Like, guy number one, guy number two, I found out on our first date with guy number two that they were both connected, and it was like the weirdest connection ever. And then we couldn't let him, guy number one, find out that we were going on dates because he would have gotten so possessive and
Uh-huh.
jealous. Like, it was just a weird situation. But that's like dating. It was weird because Denver's a big city, but it feels like a small town in the dating world because everyone's connected.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I feel like there's been like several other people that you're like, dude, they go to the same whatever. They're
Yeah, or
connected by this
mhm,
person. It's
mhm.
weird.
Especially with one of my exes, like he's connected to literally everyone.
Yeah.
And so it's just like so weird.
Like you're still finding out people he's connected to.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so weird. Like a guy matched with me on Hinge the other day, and I was like, I know him through my ex. Like it was just so weird. But yeah, that was a case of like just weird connections.
Very weird.
If
Can
you
you
want to know this
imagine like living
story,
in like a actual small town?
I
Like literally
know.
dating everybody.
Literally, it's so weird because I don't even like that. I know I have connections to
Mhm.
people, but if I was in a small town, honestly, like Rexburg, like
Yeah.
everyone just
Everyone
dating
just
each
kind of
other.
dates around. Yeah.
So weird. Okay, the next one. Let's call him Willie.
Okay.
So Willie and I had a full-on relationship in 2 weeks,
Literally.
including a honeymoon phase, um, fighting, and then breaking up.
Passion. Yeah,
Yes,
like all of it.
yes, yeah, a lot of passion. And so basically, me and Willie was moving to a different country. What is up with me and guys in
I
other
don't
countries?
know, girl.
So Willie was moving to another country in like a month from when we first met. And so we we went on our first date and it was really good. And right away we just had a really good connection, but it was honestly kind of a toxic connection. Like I need help.
Uh, Was it toxic? I mean, like, why?
I don't know. I guess I'm looking at the whole relationship. It was
Yeah,
toxic.
yeah.
But I don't know. It was just like right away we just were so attached.
Yeah, no, I remember because you were like, I actually really like this guy. Like, and I met him.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jared and I met him
yeah.
because,
And you guys liked him.
yeah, and because he had connections in New York and he'd been there several times. And so we were like, can
Mhm.
you like give us places to
New
go and
York
stuff? Like,
tips,
we
yeah.
really liked him actually.
Mhm. Yeah, and he was just very charming. He knew
Mm-hmm.
what he was doing.
Yeah, he sure did.
But he was very charming. Like the whole family liked him. He was really nice. But we were like we were just acting like we were a couple.
You
And
guys really were?
and I think it was because we knew that there was a timeline on it. I don't
Okay,
know.
hold on. Let me interrupt. This is bringing back so many memories. Like, where you guys would be sitting on the couch, like very cuddly, and like you'd probably known each other a week, okay?
I
And mom
know.
was like texting me pictures, like, "What do you think's going on here?" Like, just like trying to.
Literally everyone making fun of me. I don't know what was going through my head. We just felt very comfortable with each other, and like he would always be like, "Babe, babe," and like I hate pet names, but like for Willie, it was like, "Oh, babe," and like he'd be like, "Oh, babe, let me get this for you," and he'd be like, "Oh, babe, you want to go get pizza?" And like it was just like it was so
You were
casual.
smitten.
No, it wasn't that though. It was like it was just so casual, and it like I think it was just like we both just wanted to pretend like we had known each other for so long.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that.
And there was like a timeline on it. So basically, like we're just very comfortable with each other very early on. So we had made plans on a Saturday, actually no, on a Friday, because I literally took work off, and we were gonna go up to Estes Park for a day trip because he's originally from Florida, and so I was like, Estes Park is beautiful, we'll go. And then he got really annoying and then canceled the trip like 2 days before. And I was like, seriously? Like, I took work off. Like, I had my coworkers, like, take my workload. And I was so annoyed. So that started the first fight. And this was probably 2 weeks after our first date. So we get in this huge fight, very explosive, just like crazy. And it was all over the phone because, like, we couldn't see each other. And then I was like, literally, like, we're done. Like, I was like, I'm so done with this. And then literally, like, the next day, he's like, babe, I'm sorry. Like, I'm the worst. And
Oh my
I was like,
gosh.
it's fine. Like, whatever. Like, just like so annoying. And so then we like acted like everything was fine again. And then I had left something because he was staying at a hotel. He was living at a hotel because he was only there for a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
was only there for a month.
So I had left something at the hotel, and then we got in another big argument over the phone. And it was just like so dramatic. And I was acting like we were both acting like there was so much on the line, but it was like we just met. Like it wasn't just on me, it was on him too. And it was just very hot and heavy, like so quick. And so we I left my thing at the hotel, so I was like, I'm gonna come pick it up. And we had not talked like that whole day, and he was like, okay, you can come at this time. So then he comes down to the little like roundabout thing that you pull up to the hotel in, comes down there and brings me the thing that I left. And then I was just like, thanks. Like so annoyed. And he was like, babe, what's wrong?
Oh my gosh, he's like, let's work on
Yeah,
this.
he's like, tell me what's wrong. And I was like, it was just one of those arguments where like you just keep it was so playful but at the same time so serious,
Mm-hmm.
and you keep just like wanting to keep it going even though there's no reason. Like
Mm-hmm.
we would be like, okay, we're fine, yeah, and then I'd be like, okay, but like you did this, and then he would be like, okay, we're fine, and then he would say, okay, but like I didn't like that you did this. Like it was just like we both kept it going. And then he was like, babe, I'm like freezing, like come on, like let's just be done with this. And I was like, okay, fine, like whatever. And I was just like, okay, we're fine, all right. And then we just moved on. Like it was so freaking cringe, but like something about it, like he's just like he had my little heart,
Yeah, he did.
and it was just funny. Like honestly, like it was just like funny. And then we made up and worked it out, and then decided, like okay, like have fun in Australia. And that was it.
And now he's there in
And
Australia.
now he's there and he's living it up. But it was just so funny because it was so much going
Yeah,
on.
like literally a full on relationship in
It
2
was a
weeks.
full on relationship. We had a first date, a honeymoon period. We had some arguments. We made up. We had more arguments. And then eventually we broke up
Yep.
after 2 weeks. It was so funny. But you and Jared, like, really like
Yeah,
him.
we did. I was like, he seems like a really good match, and like you guys were like, you obviously had chemistry.
Yeah, we had really good
Yeah.
chemistry. But, he went
And
to
like I
Australia.
remember like you guys like he had mentioned like, well, when we go to New York, like you guys were like already
Mm,
talking about like traveling and
I do
stuff.
not remember that.
I
Like,
do. Because me and Jared were like,
and the rest of the family was probably like, what the heck? Because you guys were already all making fun of me. Whatever.
sorry girl.
Yeah, so that was Willie.
Okay, let's go to your last one. What should we call him? I like making funny names.
I know.
Andrew? That's not a
Andrew.
funny name,
Yeah.
I guess. I'm just trying to think of like something not similar at all.
Gus.
Gus. Okay, Gus.
Okay, Gus. This actually happened this week. It's very recent.
Very recent. Here's your clickbait. Halie went on a date with an NFL player.
Yep, I did. And if you knew who we were talking about, you could look him up right now. He's on the roster.
Yep.
Um, but it was a great date. He was just in town visiting family, and I know he's listening to this right now. So it was great. I really had a great time with him, and no complaints. Like the first date was so good. And just very casual, very good conversation. I feel like we talked about more than just surface level stuff. It was great. Um and so then we made plans for a second date, and basically I got really annoyed, and because I there was miscommunication, and I ended up waiting downtown by myself for him to show up for like 40 minutes.
And you had like gotten all dressed up and
Yeah, like I had adjusted my schedule for the day. I drove 45 minutes downtown to get
one
there.
way.
Yeah, one way. And yeah, okay, yeah. They're just, I was so annoyed last night. And finally, I just decided, like, you know what, I'm not gonna wait, because by the time I was gonna leave, he was about 10 minutes away. And I was like, I'm not gonna wait for this, because it's already 8:15, and I don't want to be out super late. I have to work, and I was just really annoyed, okay? So then I end up driving back home. When I get home, this dude literally posts on his story, his Instagram story. And mind you, I've only followed him on Instagram for like probably a week, okay? But maybe a week and a half. And the only thing I have seen him post on his Instagram story is reposts of video, like workout videos that he's been tagged in.
Mm-hmm.
So he is not, to my knowledge, not that I've been stalking him, but just, looking at his stories, he has only posted content that other people have put out, not his own picture. This dude, when I get home, posts a picture of the putt-putt golf place that we were supposed to meet at. And I was like, what? And I was like, what does this mean? Like, did he literally go on his own? Did he find another girl, like, in 10 minutes? Like, what's going on? And then later in the night, I see videos of him just like,
like, he kept posting.
Yes, he posted, like, 2 other videos. And he just went by himself. Like, honestly, good for him. But I was like, I saw that, and it just made me so much more mad for some reason. Like, I was like, really?
Well, because it's like, why else would you post it?
Yeah, I was like, why else would you post it? Because you have not posted anything else.
Yeah.
So, like, what's your angle with
Oh
posting?
my gosh.
But, like, the thing is, it does kind of suck because I did have a great time with him. I know that we would have had fun playing putt-putt golf, and I wish him all the best if he ever comes to Denver again. Hit me up. What do we call him?
What did we call
What did
him?
we call him?
Gus.
Gus. Hit me up, Gus, if you ever come back. You're so cute. But yeah, it was just funny. And then the funniest thing kind of about this story is this is not shallow if anyone wants to come for me. But basically I had texted my best friend after me and him were talking. And because me and my best friend, we've had very complicated love lives individually for the past year, just, not the greatest situations. And so I texted her and I was like, I just matched with the Super Bowl champion. And she was like, no way. She's like, I just matched with an Olympic like figure skater or something.
Yeah.
She was like she was like, he legit just got back from Beijing 2022. And I was like, dang girl, we're moving up in the world. Like, shout out to our exes who were
That is
not
so
that level.
funny.
It was so funny. It was just hilarious because like I feel like we have so many parallels in our dating
I was
life.
just gonna say, like, it seems like you guys like have different love life things going on, but like literally it's parallel.
It's the same exact
Yeah.
situations. Like last night, because this whole situation with, having to cancel the date last night, literally my best friend, she was getting ready for a date. She was all ready. She looked so good. And then he texted her, made up this lame excuse, and was like, I can't. My grandma is sick. And it just was obviously fake because he was
Yeah.
giving so many details about it.
Yeah.
And
dude,
it was like,
come on.
okay, you're overcompensating. But it was just so funny because I was telling her, I was like, I'm so annoyed right now. Like, I was so excited. Didn't work out. And she was like, girl, literally same. In the same night at the same time. It was just funny.
Oh my gosh.
That sums up my dating drama in the past year. There's been many more.
Many, many more.
For the sake of time, we're already at literally 40 minutes. So, for the sake of time, we are not going to go into it more. But those are some of my funny dating stories. I hope you guys found them entertaining.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. If anyone's new here, I'm married.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't have any dating stories. But it's fun to listen to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Cause like some of them like I've heard a few times, but like it is so funny to talk about it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, the second part of this episode is going to be some date ideas because if you're in a relationship or if you're married or like even if you're just like, what should we do? Like, I don't just want to go get food. Like you were saying, like recently you had gone on like 3 food dates, like 3 nights in a row, and you were like, I'm fooded out.
Makes me sound like a hoe. 3 nights in a row.
3 nights in a row. So it's just good to like have ideas that are like different tiers of expense because sometimes you want a cheap date, sometimes you're like, let's splurge a little bit.
Yeah.
So I divided them into 3 categories. The first one is free / $1 sign. And of course, like you can make these as cheap or expensive as you want. So everyone's different. But here are some ideas. I'm just going to rattle them off.
So fun.
Watch the sunrise or the sunset, volunteer together, browse a bookstore, visit a public garden, get coffee or drinks and walk around downtown, rent bikes and cruise around downtown or like your neighborhood,
Fun.
have a picnic on the floor at home, have a game night, plan a vacation. It's like even planning a vacation
It's so fun.
is so
like
fun.
It doesn't even have to be a real vacation.
Yeah, just plan it for the future. Make milkshakes or ice cream sundaes at home. drive to see fall leaves, a day trip, build your own pizza night, go thrifting, learn a new skill like origami, make a new recipe, try a new sport, do a puzzle, take public transit somewhere new, like literally just pick somewhere random,
Fun.
play 20 questions, relive a past vacation,
Oh,
which
we love
is our
that.
thing, and do a photo shoot. And like I said, like you could obviously like spice some of those up and like
Right.
put more money into it, but those are just some really good ideas of like, hey, we want to go out, we want something cheap.
Those are good ideas.
Yeah. This next one is $2 signs, so up to your interpretation. Go to a museum, arcade night, recreate your own Hot Ones challenge. Okay, I figured you wouldn't know what that
Oh,
means.
it's the hot sauce challenge
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, like they eat the celebrities eat the wings. Yeah, it's like this
Oh,
whole
hot
series
sauce.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
And they like answer questions and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So like you could recreate that.
That
That
would
would
be
be really
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Visit a national or state park, DIY project or craft, drive-in movie, comedy show,
Ooh, that'd be fun.
which yeah, usually like drive-in movies and comedy shows aren't too pricey.
No,
In
especially
my
drive-in movies
experience.
are actually pretty cheap.
Yeah, they're not that bad. Horseback riding, rock climbing, rent a kayak or a canoe.
A canoe, that would be so
Yeah.
romantic. Oh my gosh.
Axe throwing, and a concert. Obviously, like probably not like
Yeah, I
Billie
was gonna say, I
Eilish
feel
or
like those
something like we just went to.
three- Keep dropping her name. Billie Eilish.
Billie.
Like we just did.
This last tier is $3 signs. Okay, so if you want to splurge, go back to this episode and get some ideas. Skiing or snowboarding, a hot air balloon date.
That's
which is
a
on my bucket list.
proposal.
Yeah, that's a big one. Fly to a different city for a day or a weekend. Concert, indoor skydiving, a staycation in your city.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. Go to a theater and see a show, and a spa day.
Fun.
Yeah, I just think like a lot of those would be super fun. Or like even just like friend dates. Like if you're like, hey, let's go do something that's not going to dinner, going to a movie, like let's do something new. I feel like those are some really good ideas.
Yeah, I like that because, like I was saying, it just gets boring after a while. Like, okay, we're gonna sit down at a restaurant, we're gonna talk, and especially if you're in the dating scene, you go on a lot of first dates, and so it's the same questions over and over again, and it's like, oh, this is getting so boring. So like, just having something fun to do, like I even just like watching the sunset.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
so
there's
fun.
something else you can talk about and focus on. Like with the putt-putt golf, like that would have been a fun date because like you can like see how competitive the other
and you
person
can like
is, like
tease them.
how fun. Yeah, like there's other aspects you can see in a person through different activities.
Right.
Yeah.
So fun. Those are great ideas. Definitely want to use some of those ideas. If you're listening and you want to take me out, then use some of those ideas.
She's currently accepting applications.
Applications. Slide into my DMs. They're open. Yeah, so there's our fun little lifestyle episode today. We have some dating drama, some fun date ideas. So if you or you know of a friend that needs some date ideas, share this episode with them.
Yeah, please share this episode. Also, leave us a rating and a review if you are so inclined to do so. It really helps the show out. It helps us out, and we just really, really appreciate like feedback of any kind. So
yeah, and we've had a lot of people who have told us, "Oh, we love the podcast," or like, "That's such a great idea. You guys have great conversations back and forth, whatever." If you feel that way, put it in the review.
Please.
We would really appreciate it because it boosts our podcast up and helps us out a lot. So thank you guys so much for listening. As always, you can find us on Instagram at Real Talk About Feminism Pod. So if you have any insights from this episode, then slide into those DMs.
For sure. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.